Bombshell report, secret source working with Mueller is deemed off limits to Congress, by Aaron Moreno for truthfeednews.com. House Republicans were barred by the Justice Department yet again. This time, Congress was prevented from viewing documents involving a top-secret source who has provided information to the CIA, FBI, and Mueller's Russia probe. From the Daily Caller, the mysterious source has also gathered information that was given to Special Counsel Robert Mueller as part of his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, according to the Washington Post. Washington Post reported Justice Department and intelligence community officials issued a stark warning to the White House on May 2nd against a request from House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes. Nunes has submitted a subpoena to the Justice Department on April 24th for records related to the Russia probe. Justice Department and intelligence community officials argued to White House Chief of Staff John Kelly that complying with the subpoena would reveal the identity of a top-secret source and would undermine protocol regarding intelligence sources, according to the Washington Post. Washington Post provided one small clue about the source. He or she is American. Kelly discussed the issue with Trump, who sided with the intelligence officials. Washington Post noted that it is unclear whether Trump knew that information from the source has been shared with Mueller. Trump has been heavily critical of the Mueller probe, which he has described as a witch hunt. On Thursday, the day after the White House meeting, the Justice Department told Nunes that the agency was not in a position to provide information responsive to your request regarding a specific individual. Disclosure of responsive information to such requests can risk severe consequences, including potential loss of human lives, damage to relationships with valued international partners, comprise of ongoing criminal investigations, ongoing criminal investigations, and interference with intelligence activities. Stephen Boyd, the Assistant Attorney General of the Justice Department's Office of Legislative Affairs, wrote to Nunes. Nunes shot back in a statement to the Washington Post, saying that the Justice Department is citing spurious national security concerns to evade congressional oversight while leaking information to the Washington Post, ostensibly about classified meetings. Nunes threatened to hold Attorney General Jeff Sessions in contempt of Congress for failing to provide the documents on Sunday. The standoff is not the first between Nunes and the Justice Department. The Republican has battled the agency over other records related to the Russia investigation, including surveillance warrants granted to the Justice Department to spy on former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page. The FBI and Justice Department relied heavily on the unverified Steele dossier to obtain the spy warrants, according to documents provided to the House Intel panel. Nunes also recently threatened to subpoena the Justice Department for the FBI document that laid out the initial rationale for the Bureau's counterintelligence investigation into possible collusion. The investigation was opened on July 31st, 2016, based on the information about then Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos. The Australian government reportedly passed information to the U.S. government about a barroom conversation that Papadopoulos had in London in May of 2016 with Alexander Downer, the former Australian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Downer reportedly relayed that Papadopoulos claimed to have learned the Russian government had obtained stolen Hillary Clinton emails. The Daily Caller News Foundation has reported that Papadopoulos was introduced to Downer by Erica Thompson, another Australian diplomat. 2 weeks before that meeting, Papadopoulos met in London with Joseph Mifsud, a Maltese professor and diplomat who is suspected of being a Russian operative. Papadopoulos pleaded guilty on October 5th for lying to FBI agents about the timing of his encounters with Mifsud and with 2 Russian nationals. He told the special counsel's office that Mifsud said in that meeting that the Russian government official told him about stolen Clinton-related emails. Papadopoulos had several other interesting encounters during the campaign stretch. The DCNF reported that in September of 2016, he was approached out of the blue by Stephen Halper, a University of Cambridge professor and former U.S. government official. Halper, who worked closely at Cambridge with Sir Richard Dearlove, a former MI6 chief, contacted Papadopoulos about writing a policy paper on Israel and Cypriot energy issues. Halper, an American, paid Papadopoulos $3,000 for the paper and covered the cost of his room, board, and a flight to London. Papadopoulos met with Halper and one of his assistants for several days in London. During their meetings, Halper asked Papadopoulos about Russia and emails, according to sources close to Papadopoulos' version of the encounters. The DCNF also learned that Halper approached 2 other Trump campaign advisors, including Carter Page. Halper invited Page to attend a symposium at Cambridge in July of 2016. Another campaign official told the DCNF they were contacted by and met with Halper several days before Halper's initial outreach to Papadopoulos. That official, who did not want to be identified, say they were surprised to learn of the Papadopoulos encounter. I don't know why they went into all of this. This is basically old news. Why don't they mention where's Mifsud's whereabouts till this day? All of a sudden he disappeared when there was that he claimed that dirt was available on Hillary's email. So Mifsud went missing. Nobody's talking about that. What happened? But here the Washington Post is saying that it's an American source. Washington Post provided one small clue about the source. He or she is American. So if they're American, how could that be a national security risk? You see, they're contradicting themselves. The thing is, they don't want you know what the whole thing is? It was set up on the inside, but somebody, probably by Clapper and Brennan, and they don't want to oust them, you know. And Clapper and Brennan probably started this whole scenario by getting that dossier. That's who they're trying to save, and they know that this whole thing is a bogus witch hunt. So what national security? It was set up by an American. So there's no national. He or she is an American. It's a he. Most likely it's a Clapper or Brennan. That's what I'm thinking. This whole thing stinks to the high heavens, and there's no such animal it's off limits to Congress. Congress has oversight. They don't have the authority to hold this information from Congress. Enough is enough already. They're just trying to save their butts. They don't want to be ousted that this whole thing was a sham and it was an inside job. That's basically the bottom line, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.